Resident Evil is pretty famous for its B-movie horror plots, with a copious amount of zombies, over-the-top villains, and later on in the franchise, absurd action sequences. All of it revolving around some mad scientists and their monster experiments to take over the world. And I'm a big fan of that stuff. Campy and absurd horror is always fun to watch. Too bad Degeneration had other ideas. Instead of trying to be a fun B-movie, it takes itself way too seriously, but the characters and story don't mesh well with what's going on. This leads it to be on equal terms with one of those direct-to-video Nicolas Cage movies, and I like to think that Resident Evil deserves better. Resident Evil Degeneration begins with a confusing stream of TV coverage that goes over the series' lore up to the start of the movie.
Can you see that area behind me beneath the red tinted sky? That is what's left of Raccoon City after the military fired a missile at it.
So many people get cut off in the middle of their reports that it's difficult to keep up with what's going on. But here's the gist of it. Raccoon City is bombed after a zombie outbreak, and the pharmaceutical corporation Umbrella is found to be at fault. Umbrella's virus research is now being sold on the black market to be used by terrorists for biological warfare. A new pharmaceutical corporation, Will Pharma, is researching a vaccine to help prevent the spread of the T-virus. But leaked footage of their India-based compound have made the public skeptical of their intentions. Clare Redfield has just flown into Harvardville Airport in order to meet with a family of the Indian victims. Soon afterwards, the airport is under attack and completely taken over by zombies, prompting a special task force to mount a rescue operation for a US senator trapped within, as well as any other survivors. Thanks to his experience and expertise, Special Agent Leon S. Kennedy is called in to lead the rescue mission.
The White House sent a special agent to handle this mess. He ought to be here soon. You can ask him.
Ask all you like, but honestly, there's nothing to discuss on that subject.
Why is the timing so bad for this scene? Leon had to finish his entire sentence before anyone would notice him. What the hell is that all about? The story is pretty bad, as it mainly focuses on the movie's original characters, who are all incredibly bland. It tries to push this theme of underlying conspiracies, that you can't trust anybody, and the villains are given ulterior motives so they're not too one-dimensional. But all of it is still shallow in its execution. The red herring and who turns out to be the true villain are both so obvious that it comes off as insulting. Resident Evil 4 was so refreshing for how upfront it was with its story, but the way that Degeneration does a poor job at hiding all the plot twists makes it such a pain to get through. The action sequences and general plot progression are also in a really weird spot. Claire and Leon meet up with each other early on, obviously, and they start making their way through the airport. Then Claire gets surrounded by zombies on a lower level while Leon is attacked at the same time. So Leon throws his gun to Claire in a ridiculous slow-mo action shot. That's fine, no big deal, but then Leon pulls out a second gun. Well, what the hell, man? If he had a second gun the whole time, why didn't he just give it to Claire in the first place? It's not like he doesn't trust her, they only survived Raccoon City together. It was poorly written on purpose, just to have this scene. Towards the end, the action sequences do get a little cooler, but by then it's a little too late and the plot never stops being idiotic. Degeneration tries to be oddly realistic, and even Leon's wisecracking attitude is erased completely. He's now all business and extremely serious at all times.
What the hell, man? I shot her point blank. There's no way I could have missed her.
I told you. The only way to stop him is to shoot him in the head. It's their only vulnerable spot. Don't forget it. Otherwise, you waste time and ammunition, and that can prove to be fatal.
This should have been a fun little action flick with a bunch of monsters, crazy flips and acrobatics, and larger-than-life villains. That's more along the lines of why I like the Spawn movie, for example. It was just a fun and goofy time. But Degeneration doesn't want to have fun. It just wants to tell this pretentious story that's completely full of itself. I'm really hoping that the next two movies are much better. Thanks for watching my review on Resident Evil Degeneration. If you'd like to be updated on my future videos, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, or check out my Discord page.